Hello, internet. If anyone's actually watching yet. Time got away from me. Doing some last minute things. Hello, Megaly. Making a drink is what I'm doing. I want a peeler because I want to use some of that last of this orange peel. I need a fresh orange for tomorrow night, I think. I'll go to the supermarket tomorrow. Are we ready, kids? Annie? Okay. Hello, Annette. Right. Definitely want to get a new orange tomorrow. A little bit of stirring ASMR. Just an old-fashioned. Strain that in there. Basically a double, so it should make it last for a while. 3 more sleeps. Election is over. Oh man, that's all dried out. Whatevs. I don't think that really worked. Oh wait, I didn't get a skewer for my garnish. I also got to put this ice back in the freezer. Right. Do that. Get a skewer because I'm going to do a cherry. All righty. Hello, Dr. Abigail. Cherries. We want cherries. 3 bottles of booze to get you through it. That's just about enough to make it through the night. It is, coincidentally, also World Whiskey Day on Saturday. So I might make a bunch of whiskey drinks to make it through election night. And see how that goes. It's a very amber-coloured, old-fashioned. Also a double. It's single malt. Last of my single malt from Tiny Bear Distillery. But I'm probably buying a new bottle this week. So I needed some shelf space, and that was the one that was nearly empty. So I finished it. Concise review, Abigail, of the Doctor Strange movie. Certainly a Marvel movie. Nettie, you got 2 whiskies. Nice. Bum Fungus, good evening to you, sir. So my special drink won't be ready for Saturday night. I'm making an apple liqueur, whiskey-based apple liqueur. Fox, hello. I feel like I haven't seen Fox of Fate for a little while. How are you doing, Foxy? Yum. So yes, I'm doing concoction. Did he tell you not to buy any more Gorman? Okay, I don't know what Gorman is, but I'm henceforth telling you, don't buy any more Gorman. Just don't. No more Gorman. It's funny, I thought I was going to be overpowered with the urge to buy whiskies because two of my favorite local distilleries sent me teaser emails going, "Ooh, we're doing another limited edition." Starwood said, "Oh, it's our freshest yet." And I go, "Ooh, what's this going to be?" And the Gospel Distillery have also said they're doing a limited release. I'm going, "Oh, I like them too." All right, I'm probably going to get, but then the Starwood one was a new version of their ginger beer barrel aged whiskey, which is probably my least favorite of their limited whiskies I've had. So it's actually very easy to resist buying it. I have had it. It was nice, but probably my least favorite. The Gospel one I'm probably going to get. Hiya, Lee. See, Nettie, I still don't know what Gorman is. All I know is on sale and you're trying to resist buying it. So, I mean, it might be a person. You might be going to slave markets for all I know. There's a slave called Gorman that you can't resist buying. That is very yummy. Why not? All right, so you did enjoy it, Abigail. Bit surprising. It's not quite what you're expecting. All right. I'll probably, I don't know, probably go to the movies soon. Still, with COVID risk, not great on the idea of being in a cinema. Megaleech, I don't question what sort of slave market Nettie goes to. So if she buys her slaves in parts, then so be it. Oh, see, now Dr. Abigail is a bad influence, saying we should do Crepes and Gorman Dangerfield next week. We got the hi, Alec. The decadent thing that I was tempted to do was get booze things advertised to me on Facebook all the time, and a bar not far from Dr. Abigail's neck of the woods, the Everly on Gertrude Street, is hosting people from Attaboy, New York, one of the most famous cocktail bars in the world, and super tempted to go. It's on Sunday week. A little bit pricey. Actually, not excessively pricey, but just a little bit pricey. See, again, Megaleech, innuendo. I'm not going there. I'm not going to question Nettie's slave buying priorities. Okay, well, Nettie, all I'm saying is I did my part. You said tell you not to buy Gorman. I steadfastly said don't buy Gorman. Dr. Abigail has led you astray, and you've gleefully followed the path of straying. So I did my part. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, now I've just got to decide if I want to blow money on this special bar event. Oh, that's good. Tiny Bear make a good single malt whiskey. Wow, that was a bad sentence. I said the wrong consonants multiple times. Tiny Bear make a good single malt whiskey. For a gin distillery, they make a good whiskey. Very easy to drink. Oh man, that is really good actually. That's made with my apple syrup. Dr. Abigail, I haven't decided, who's going to get lucky at the bar event. And no, Nettie, I know you've been really into the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, but I have been avoiding that religiously. And this is not you, but I'm very disturbed by the people who are carrying on like Johnny Depp's hero. I mean, it seems clear Amber Heard's really shitty and abusive, but the idea that means Johnny Depp's a saint is wild. Seeing he's got a decades-long track record of being a piece of shit, basically. Luke, the plan is to do an election night stream. Might go the same way if the election goes the same way as the last one, the stream will go the same way as the last one. Because I started off thinking the Liberals are going to lose, and it actually became apparent relatively early they were going to win, and I got depressed and ended the stream. Because I'm going to be on a stream drinking and being depressed. I want to be on a stream drunkenly celebrating. If LNP are returned to government, I will be genuinely distressed. It's not a small thing, even though employed, professional, cishet white man, it ain't gonna hurt me. But Jesus, I despair for the country if the LNP are returned to power. I mean that sincerely. And I know people say emotive, hyperbolic shit at every election, but I seriously despair for the country. Fox, yes, a rehashed bitter Liberal cocktail. We should, look, I don't want to preempt it. Maybe on the night we can come up with some themed drinks. Do something with soda, something with bubbles, call it the Canberra bubble. And I will throw this out here. Because I do, if people say, who do you think I should vote for? I still say Labor. I do not say Greens first. I have no problem with anyone who does put Greens first, but I'm still of a mind of the result I want is Labor to have a clear majority to form government. But if Labor win government and then they fucking suck, I actually think they'll be at least kind of okay. But if Labor win government and then act really cowardly and just do Liberal Party light because they want to hold on to power at all costs without ever actually doing anything, if Labor win government and fuck up, that will be the last time I ever urge people to vote Labor. I think I will actively get involved with promoting the Greens. Dr. Abigail, I think a future Greens-Labor coalition, or at least a Labor minority government supported by the Greens, is a good thing. This election, not so much. What I want, and like what I want doesn't count for shit, but what I want is for Labor to get elected with a majority and put decent policies in and at least slowly move Australia back onto the right track. Like the LNP have fucked Australia and knocked us right off any sort of sustainable path for the future. I hope Labor sort of eases us back towards the right ones. I don't think the Greens fucked up carbon taxing. I think there should be a price on carbon. I am really annoyed with people who won't. Jesus, what the fuck was that? I think that was my recycling tub spontaneously settling. Yes. Bum Fungus, good quote. Don't draw a cock on your ballot this weekend. Last time he won. Yes, musical aviator. That image. Someone did that on Instagram. An artistic rendering of Morrison crash tackling a 10-year-old, symbolic of Morrison destroying the future for future generations. Yeah. So, yeah, my hope, Labor get elected with a clear majority and they enact decent policies and get success from enacting decent policies, which emboldens them a bit to have real policies going forward. The thing that people certainly, I mean, I don't expect the LNP to admit it, but I'm very frustrated that Labor won't admit it. Certain things have to stop. People have to stop taking for granted that we should keep driving private cars everywhere. One way or another, things in the future are going to get more expensive because what we've been doing is just deferring the cost of our lifestyle, just ignoring the fact that the waste our lifestyle produces is creating a problem for the future that has to be addressed at some point, and it will cost money to address. And either we do it in a controlled way where it's like, oh, shit got more expensive because we have to use less shit. We have to use less shit. It's as simple as that. No politician wants to say it. No politician wants to say, you know what, you've been taking a whole bunch of shit for granted. It's absolutely unsustainable. It literally means the destruction of human society if we don't stop. So you've got two choices. You do it in a mildly painful way where things get more expensive and you stop taking certain things for granted, or you keep taking things for granted and the whole system collapses and then we're in a fucking Mad Max future. So, Nettie, I think the whole thing about negotiations between Greens and Labor, etc., that's very subjective and very point of view. I think you're basically remembering it right. You like my tiki shirt? I got new shirts. They arrived today. So expect over the coming weeks to see, because I got 7 new shirts. So expect to see more new shirts. This one I've had for a long time. This one I've had for over a year, my tiki shirt. One of the new shirts is tiki themed. The rest are more martini themed. New stuff. I was very excited. I've already, just as a precaution, when I get clothes that I've ordered off the air, they come. Sounds like I'm saying stuff from China is dirty. No, clothes I get from anywhere I wash before I wear. At least these don't smell like formaldehyde. The Gothy vest I got a while back absolutely fucking reeked of formaldehyde. So I washed it and then I hung it on the line for days to air it out and get rid of this gross formaldehyde smell. These ones don't smell like formaldehyde, so I just put them through the washing machine and they hang up because they're so light. They'll probably be dry already, but I'll certainly, tomorrow night and Saturday night stream will both be brand new shirts. Oh, and Sunday night, I'll probably do a stream on Sunday. I know I skipped a bunch of streams this week. I may end up doing way less streams in the future. I literally don't know. I kind of had a shitty week last week and I wasn't feeling good about anything YouTube related. I didn't particularly enjoy Friday night stream. People might remember I finished at about midnight as opposed to 2 a.m. But then I really enjoyed Sunday nights. Was it Sunday? I did one on Sunday night. I really enjoyed that. Didn't do Saturday night because that was a date night, and didn't do Tuesday because it was Mrs. Angry's birthday and we went out. And yes, Luke, you had jumpers. Jumpers are notorious. They've been in, mothballs or whatever. Yeah, quite often you get stuff, particularly when you buy it online, and it smells awful because there's like stuff to stop moths eating it. But yeah, the Gothy vest I got a while back, a year or two ago, that was outrageously stinking of formaldehyde. These ones, they don't really smell, but just as a precaution, I wash them. So they're hanging up. These things dry, like even just the spin cycle on my washing machine, they're almost dry. I hung them up. They'll be dry tomorrow. And so, yeah, next couple of live streams, new shirts. Woo. I am so easily excited. New shirts are a big thing as far as I'm concerned. So that's coming up. They're not all, actually, are they all? Anyway, they're in this bowling shirt style. You'll know what I mean when you see them. But they're like this bowling shirt style with logos, most of them. But there's a bit of variety between them. Some of them are quite similar with just different color schemes. But there's quite a bit of variation among them. So new shirts. Yeah, I probably could have worn a new shirt tonight because they're probably dry. But this is the shirt I put on today. So this is the shirt I'm wearing. Wear tiki style. Cultural appropriation. Yeah. So Dr. Abigail, you watch it 5 of Moon Knight. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I can see episode 5 of Moon Knight if you've actually gone through dissociative episodes in your life. Episode 5 of Moon Knight might bring all those feelings back. Yeah, I think Oscar Isaac had lots of fun playing different characters in that show. Also, I just like Oscar Isaac. Yeah, I don't know if any of these Marvel shows are getting a second season or if they're just little one-off stories that are feeding into the Marvel expanded universe. The next one is She-Hulk, which looks funny as fuck, honestly. For those who don't know She-Hulk, the comic first appeared in 1980, and it was a spoof. It was like Feminist Hulk, and she's a lawyer. And I think She-Hulk was always meant to be silly fun. And I saw the trailer for the series, which is starting very soon, and it looks like they're just rolling with it. It's just like, yeah, no, She-Hulk is silly. So that's good. Yes, Dr. Abigail, Loki. Loki was clearly set up for a second season. The rest of the series, I thought not so much. You easily could do another season of any of the other series. But I think it was Loki was specifically set up for the story to continue. Like even Moon Knight was kind of set up, but nowhere near. Loki was very set up. The last bit of Loki was, ooh, this is where the story's going to go from here. And I don't really feel like any of the other series were like that. You could do another season of them, but I don't think they were explicitly set up for it. It's time for a new Star Wars series on Disney. Kenobi starts in the next week or so. And the trailers have got me pretty hype. I don't know whether the show will live up to the trailers, but they look pretty cool. Feeling a bit hype about Kenobi. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I didn't mind any of the other ones. I thought Boba Fett was odd. It was. I liked it, but I didn't feel like Boba Fett was completely compelling. You want some water? Service with a smile. What? Some peeing ASMR for anyone who's into that? Right. water. Sorry, now completely distracted. You're talking about Kenobi. Looking forward to Kenobi. Yeah, Boba Fett was kind of like, I was looking at it going, I'm not sure this makes any sense. Lee, I don't know where you're getting those statistics from, but they're not real. They may be based on polls. They may be based on surveying exit polls and that sort of thing. They are not real figures because the AEC does not release any figures until after the polls close on Saturday. So anywhere you're seeing numbers, and I assume what you're referring to is early vote results, they are not actual results. It is someone extrapolating results based on polling. And the reason the AEC does not release any official tallies of early voting is because it could actually affect voting on the day. So there are no official voting results released until after the polls close on voting day. Nettie, no, I'm not placing a bet. We've only got, a bit more than 48 hours of being stressed AF, possibly longer if the result is close and it takes longer to sort out, postal votes, etc. It may be days longer. I remain hopeful it is a decisive Labor win that is absolutely clear on. And like I said, I've said before, a double-pronged I want. I want a decisive Labor win, and I also want the Liberals to lose a couple seats to the Teal Independents because I want the Liberals to understand this shift to far-right fuckery does not represent a majority. It does not even represent all of the Liberal Party. So they need to go to being centre-right rather than far-right. Luke, I don't know what you mean about the South Australian one. So, Lee, $0 bet on it swinging either way. Yeah, look, fucking anything could happen. Sorry, Luke, you're saying South Australia Labor got in easy. Yeah. And I mean, it's not like Western Australia where it was a foregone conclusion that Labor was going to sweep in. And there are no foregone conclusions in this federal election. That was it. I remain hopeful of the result, but I am absolutely not predicting a result. I am thoroughly braced for a result that depresses the fuck out of me. Yeah, bum fungus, it's easy to feel that giant douche or turd sandwich option. I don't actually believe that's the case, or I hold out hope that isn't the case. Like I was saying, I'm encouraging, vote Labor. I want Labor to win a majority. But if they win a majority and are so weak and pathetic and useless that it really is the giant douche or turd sandwich option, that will be the last time I ever advocate for Labor. If they don't do if they win government and don't do anything worthwhile, I'm just done. But I remain hopeful they will win government and they will enact at least decent policies. They will see results from decent policies and they will be encouraged. We should be better. At the moment, to me, they feel like scared fucking idiots, and they're so scared of the power of the Murdoch empire. You know, they're gonna again. Dan Andrews is far from perfect. I think he passes the very low bar of being like the best political leader in Australia. But he fucking loves the cops. He's never seen sort of authoritarian measure he doesn't like. And he absolutely backs the cops fucking up peaceful protesters. So he's a long way from perfect. But if federal Labor could be like Dan Andrews, I'd be pretty happy. Dr. Aguilar, that's not a bad take. Stale but edible salad sandwich versus a giant acid douche. Yes. Hey, Tommy Five Tone, playing Evil Dead the game. Well, you may not be surprised to learn talk of the federal election has dominated discourse thus far. Oofed. We got about a bit more than 48 hours, because again, I don't want it to be drawn out. I want there to be a clear result on election night. Also, I want to be getting happily shit-faced drunk on election night. Because if it goes badly, I'm not going to stay on a stream being sad and depressed. Because if it goes badly, I will be sad and depressed. I won't be doing an extended stream if it goes badly, because I just don't want to subject myself to that. Me time. Self-care, as the saying goes. Okay, we're 8:30 and I've had a double. Fuck yeah. Okay, I don't have any meetings tomorrow. I got some shit I got to do. But, you know, I can do it. Yeah, Megalit, straight to after party. Yeah. Oh, Lee. Yeah, I will also. I don't know that I'll be angry. I think I will just be, you know that old saying, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. If the Australian voting public makes bad choices, that's the thing. I will be disappointed. Fuck me, an old fashioned is a good drink. Oh, Mrs. Angry lately has got into gin old fashions. She likes whiskey old fashions too. And who wouldn't? That's a great drink. But she's got into gin old fashions. And I got a couple of limited edition gins recently. One was called Strawberries and Cream. And it's a sort of lightly pink gin. And so last night I made Mrs. Angry an old fashioned with a strawberries and cream gin, which is pink. The sugar syrup I used was made sugar and a native Australian fruit called lily pilly or riberry, which is sort of it's a nice. Well, I'll show you. I'll show you. This is my lily pilly syrup, which is quite red. It's very nice. It's quite red. And for the bitters part of the old fashioned, I used cranberry bitters, which is also red. So it was a red old fashioned. It was fucking good. I may actually make one for myself tonight because it was very good. Wow. So yeah. I think it's time to try my freezer martini because I topped that up last stream and I haven't tasted this latest blend. So I think I should do that. I should taste my freezer martini. Gotta love a martini. Also, Tommy Fartone, when was the Evil Dead game released? What style of game is it? Like, is it a first-person shooter? I would assume an Evil Dead game is a first-person shooter. And is it good? Because I'm not at all familiar. You can maybe tell by the questions I'm asking, I don't know anything about the Evil Dead game. So I being a fan of Evil Dead, because Sam Raimi's my generation, I'd be keen to hear about it. I'm going to get a martini glass and pour myself a freeze martini. Maybe another double. And Gray's getting wasted on a Thursday night. Do. Spider-Man. I thought, what am I going to do to the freezer? Oh, it's because I'm getting a freezer martini. Spider-Man. Does whatever a spider can. Just make sure it's mixed up. Yeah, boy. Love that glug, glug, glug ASMR. And also, I always say this, you can't really see it. But the only reason this isn't frozen is it's very high alcohol content. But it's a little bit viscous, and it just looks nice as a porter. Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry. Over experience, I love this. I love a really dry, punchy martini. This was a bit much for Nettie. When Nettie came over, I poured her one of this, and she's like, ew, that's too full on. So then I actually split it 50-50 with a sweet vermouth, and she liked that. So it's flexible. So Tommy, it came out on Friday the 13th. Like Friday the 13th game. Okay, I don't know what the Friday the 13th game. Is it like a first-person shooter, or is it like one of those Telltale story games? I know nothing about it. So, oh, fucking hell. The other reason I like a freezer martini is I like really cold martinis. Oh, hey, Safa. You're a bit late to the stream, which is nice to see you. Tuesday was Mrs. Angry's birthday. We went out. I liked it. Dr. Abigail, yes, we're moving Friday adventure. By the way, yes, everyone here is, I don't know if I told you, everyone here is cool with your adventure. Tuesday. Yeah, sure, why not? Warmer weather, more sunny, yes. Yeah, everyone here is cool with it, by the way. So I thought they would be, but yeah. Also, very cool that you're doing it. Yeah, we went out. Okay, we went to town. We had a birthday lunch, which was frickin' great. A place called Cicciolina at St Kilda, named after the Italian porn star Ilona Stoller, whose stage name was Cicciolina. She was a porn star in like the 80s, and then she ran for Italian Parliament and got in. And she was really progressive. She was apparently a good parliamentarian, progressive and whatnot. But yeah, when she was campaigning, she'd always get her tits out and stuff. Fucking awesome. The same people had opened a second restaurant near where I used to live in East St Kilda, which was called Ilona Stoller, which was favorite date night venue for me and Mrs. Angry. It sadly did not survive COVID, which bummer, because it was one of our favorites. But we had lunch at Cicciolina, which was great. Then we went to this place. Oh, okay. Now this makes me sound so old. But we went to this place on Chapel Street, and the music was too loud. Like, you couldn't hear someone across the table. The wait staff got the order wrong because they didn't hear right. The lighting was so bad I couldn't read the menu. And then we did have a bad moment with wait staff who got one of the drink orders wrong. Got Mrs. Angry's drink wrong. She didn't know this is not what I ordered. And the wait staff committed the cardinal sin of going, "That's what you ordered." And she's going, "No, it wasn't." And so, "I'll see if I can change it." It's like, fuck you. You will not see if you will change it. You fucked up and got the order wrong. You will now get the right order. Also, grossly overpriced. And I mean, for what they were giving you, the prices were double what they should have been. But this place is hugely popular. So the fact we're never going there again won't hurt them. So Tommy, Henrietta, third person, good guys. Oh, you can play as Deadites. So if you're good guys, it's survive. If you're a Deadite, it's kill everyone. That is interesting. And Heidi, you reckon the trailer makes Evil Dead look like Doom with greenery? That sounds cool. Fuck me, that is killer at the moment. My freezer martini is killer. Trying to think. God, what would tweak? No, I think just put some more gin in it, basically. Fuck me, it's good at the moment. Like it's almost neutral. It's got the balance. Like there's at this stage, there's like 12 gins have been in here, and 4 vermouths, and a few other things. When it got too bitter, I put some sweeter things in, and I put some saline in. Stopping a trailer to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game looks great as well. I didn't watch. Was it Netflix did a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? I don't think it was a series. I think it was a movie. The trailer for that looked funny, but I haven't really heard much about it. Might dirty that up. I've got this. It's kind of like bitters, but it's for dirty martinis. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I'm too drunk to find it. Alright. Give me a sec. I'm going to try and find this thing. Oh, I think they call it cocktail spice rather than bitters. And I think it's possibly up here. It is. It's up here because I used it the other day. It's up here. It's not in the fucking shelf. All right. So this thing, filthy, dirty cocktail spice for martinis. I'm going to put a bit of that in my martini. Because I'm filthy dirty. Probably don't need to stir it, but I'll just stir it a little bit. Let's try that. That's good. Actually, how much does it say to put in? Designed. It is a bit spicy. Spicy, savory flavors. At addition, we love our dirty martini. We don't mean just a little bit dirty. We want a martini filthy dirty. Blend of herbs and spices in our filthy dirty cocktail spice, designed specifically to complement and enhance the briny goodness of a standard dirty. Had 3 or 4 blasts. Jesus, 3 or 4 blasts. I did 1. Oh, Tommy, excellent question. What Sam Raimi movie did I like the most? Excellent question. Probably Army of Darkness. And here's the weird thing, and that's the 3rd Evil Dead movie. I would kind of like Sam Raimi to remake Army of Darkness with modern effects and a good budget, because Army of Darkness was hilarious and had an excellent story. But you watch it and you go like, man, a bunch of these fucking effects are very low budget. So yeah, probably Army of Darkness, the third Evil Dead movie. But I like Evil Dead movies generally. I like Darkman. Man, I like what he did with Spider-Man, for that matter. I have not seen the most recent Spider-Man, which was also directed by Sam Raimi, wasn't it? Wasn't it? So Lee, you looked at the AEC website, found out you can vote around the corner. Well, that's handy. I also remember in the 90s, there was a British TV show. Jonathan Ross hosted it. It was called The Incredibly Strange Film Show, with Jonathan Ross, who was like a talk show host in England, interviewed cult filmmakers, and he interviewed Sam Raimi. And this is before Sam Raimi went super mainstream, before he did the Spider-Man movies. And so it was mainly talking about Evil Dead. And it was great, and it was insightful. Thank you, Tommy. Sam Raimi directed the new Doctor Strange. I knew he did something for Marvel recently. So he interviewed Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi was still probably only in his 30s at this point. Maybe his 40s, but I think he's 30s. And it was very interesting, a lot of insights, and also I stole a thing from my YouTube videos. If you've watched Evil Dead 2 particularly, they have this shot that sort of waves through the forest, and what Sam Raimi dubbed shaky cam, because steady cam was a thing that came out in the 90s. It was this whole big rig people could wear that had these gimbals and stuff that smoothed out the motion of the camera, so a person could physically run along with a film camera and get a moving shot, and all these gimbals would smooth out the motion. Because I don't know if you've ever tried running with a video camera or a film camera, but if it doesn't have stabilizing stuff in it, it's very shaky. So Steadicam smoothed that out, which was great. But what Sam Raimi did, because he had no budget, he put the camera in the middle of a long plank with people on either end running around, and they experimented. And what they found was the longer the plank, the more it smoothed out the motion as people moved. And so when I was doing YouTube, I used that. I had what's called a monopod in camera terms, and I put the video camera on the end of that, extended it out, and I would walk around with it, and it would smooth out the motion of me walking and move around. Otherwise known as a selfie stick. I was using a selfie stick years before anyone christened the term selfie stick. And fucking g'day nobody. So, yeah, the one thing I took away from this Jonathan Ross interview with Sam Raimi was when Sam Raimi explained what he called shaky cam, is basically the longer the thing you have the camera on, the more it smooths out motion. So I would put my video camera on a monopod and extend it right out and hold it and walk around, and it smoothed the longer the monopod was extended, the more it smoothed the motion of me walking around. And I was doing that 15 years ago. And about 10 years ago, the selfie stick appeared. So nobody today, your brother and you brought a new lock for the ship. Oh yeah, because you got robbed and installed a lock card to stop them doing you in. Man, okay. I mean, yeah, sort of like all property is theft, but still some thieves are just fucking scumbags. Oh man. Love that freezer mud. I think I won't even top this up, actually, because I need to go out and get another Navy strength gin. So I've got a couple projects in mind. I mentioned earlier in the stream I'm going to make a whiskey-based apple liqueur. And I think, Nettie, you were excited by the idea of me doing this. I'm going to do a clarified Singapore sling. I'm going to do a version of a Singapore sling and clarify it. And I think that will be really good. And it'll probably take me the best part of a day to make that. And I won't just make one drink. I'll make a batch. Batched, clarified Singapore sling. And I don't know. The idea that I'm making that, and I'll probably make it tomorrow. You never know. Might make Nettie come over here. Who knows? So nobody, count the mower you donated, thief style. Oh man, 8K worth of mowing gear. God damn. Tommy, who is Ted Raimi in Candyman? And also, who's Ted Raimi? Is that Sam's brother? Dad? Oh, Lee, you actually get to catch up with your Kennedy cousin who's going to be US ambassador. Neat. Again, it's weird with the US ambassadorships, particularly with Republicans, seem to be like payoffs for people who give money to election campaigns. But, you know, Kennedys are just Democrat DNA. So I don't know if her getting the ambassadorship in Australia is a precursor to her being in politics, or if she's just going to be in the public service side and never actually run for office. Who knows? Oh, nice. Okay. Tommy, I love trivia like this. So Ted Raimi is Sam's brother. Is Henrietta sweet and evil there too? There you go. Regularly, you think if they stole all the... I don't think they stole the mower equipment to manicure their lawns. I think they stole the mower equipment to sell it. Ah! Also played Chet in Ash vs. Evil Dead. I only watched half of Ash vs. Evil Dead. I should go back and watch more of it because I thought it was quite entertaining. I also heard rumors there was going to be an Ash vs. Evil Dead movie, but I'm not sure. Bruce Campbell, he's just so good. I was loving because I always talk about the Behind the Bastards podcast on this stream, and Robert Evans, the host of it, was saying the other day, he was just going about why was young Bruce Campbell wasted? Like, Bruce Campbell's a lovely guy, seems to be a lovely guy. Yeah, I'm sure he's happy with his career, but young Bruce Campbell was so fucking good looking and with a big chin and jawline. Why was he not utilized properly in Hollywood films? It's a big question. So Caroline's the last surviving member of JFK's immediate family. There you go. And nobody, you want to install a security alarm, something where ideas lead. Well, that's a particular security thing I've heard of before. Something that is actually, if you trigger it, it's so loud it incapacitates people. Oof, what are we up to 9? Okay. So this is a big glass, this martini glass. So I probably poured myself a double of this as well. So the old fashioned I started with was probably a double. This, probably a double. Oh. So I'm like coin tossing was thinking of making a red gin old-fashioned. I'm coin tossing between doing that and not doing that. In other words, just drinking water in the second half. Maybe, I don't know. So, yeah. Dr. Abigail, you can build something that can incapacitate someone as a security fence. Might be legal. Yeah, I get that, nobody, that the church might not be completely on board with breaking legs. But I don't know, sometimes. Also, did anyone see the hilarity of abject fucking loser Jordan Peterson complaining to the world that he found it difficult to masturbate to the plus-sized model who was on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, and then was saying stuff about everyone's being mean. So I'm told my staff to change the password to the Twitter account so I can't use it. It's just like, you are such a fucking loser. It actually blows my mind. Yes, Nettie, that's it. Incel Kermit. Jesus. See, Abigail, temporary to permanent hearing loss or eyesight. Yes, Megaleech. Burning witches, that's a whole other thing. Or just heretics as well. And who's a heretic depends on who's in power. Because certainly for an extended period of England's history post Henry VIII, being Catholic made you a heretic. Tommy, you see the preacher from Dead Alive. I guess for the Lord. I was thinking of the classic. I don't know if they invented the term, but it was in the old Troma film. Troma is the film studio that's most famous for the Toxic Avenger movies, but they did a shit ton of movies. And there was a funny one from late 80s, early 90s called Surf Nazis Must Die. And their protagonist slash anti-hero, she had the phrase, kill them all and let God sort them out. I don't know if they invented that phrase or just used it in the movie. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So, I'm sorry, now thinking of Troma films, specifically The Toxic Avenger, the original version of The Toxic Avenger was regarded as too extreme for the Australian market. The censorship board said, we're going to refuse classification unless you delete that scene and that scene. And the filmmakers said, okay. And which led to a thing when I was at uni, a friend of mine going, oh, Toxic Avenger. And I think that he's going, I think the most extreme scene was when one of the bad guys was pumping iron at the gym, and the Toxic Avenger sort of pushed him so he's under the weights. And when he let go of this bench press machine, the weights dropped down on his head and crushed his head. And I said, no, the most extreme scene was when the baddies knocked a kid off his bike, and because the kid was wearing a helmet, he was still alive, but he was bleeding, and he's on the road and his helmet fell off. And then they backed over him and backed over his head and spun the wheels in the pulp of his head and went on. And my friend looked at me and went, that didn't fucking happen in the movie. What's wrong with you? And what it turns out is I had seen the uncensored version of the film. The uncensored film was actually accidentally released for home video and was later withdrawn. So the censored version, the bad guys just knocked this kid off his bike and then drove away. The uncensored version, they knocked this kid off his bike and they saw he wasn't dead. So they backed over his head and then spun the back wheel in his head, spraying pulp everywhere. So I saw the uncensored version of The Toxic Avenger. So, Dr. Abigail, you're thinking ears bleeding, ultrasound, infrared lasers, hidden motion tracking tasers, powered by webcam and Raspberry Pi. Nice. And yes, Tommy, that was the classic, and it wasn't just Troma. There was, and I think this was also on. I mentioned Jonathan Ross's Incredibly Strange Film Show. He had another schlock horror filmmaker from the 60s, I think, and they had one where someone's head was run over and it was a watermelon. And like this guy in like the 60s was making films with low-tech special effects that were still sort of banned in the UK in the 80s and 90s. He made it in the 60s. One thing he did, was backing over someone's head, and the splutch was a watermelon. Another one was a ritual where someone's tongue was cut out, and they showed how to do it. It was like a sheep's tongue from a butcher, which is like absurdly several times larger than a human tongue. But this person who was having their tongue cut out, they had a mouthful of like chunky raspberry jam. So when the person goes with this sheep's tongue cuts out, the person's got a mouthful of raspberry jam, sort of, and spits out all this pulpy stuff that looks like blood. It was fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. But yeah, so Safa. Oh yeah, Morrison. Well, the kid's name was Luca, was it? Morrison should have got a red card. It was hilarious because Morrison was just clumsy. The whole thing was clumsy. But again, a couple of days before an election, taking out a 10-year-old kid in a photo op, fucking hilarious. Australian politics, man. Australian politics is cooked as fuck. Okay, so Abigail, son, introduce you to a TikTok channel, Seductive. It's about ducks and hilarious. Oh, so you've got to catch up on it. I think I have TikTok on my phone, and I never watch. I certainly don't make stuff for TikTok, and I don't think I ever watch. It's kind of like, but when stuff's really popular, people repost it to other social media. That's where I see it. So yeah. Lee, I look forward to Saturday night disqualifying Morrison from running the country. I thought he said a funny thing. I mean, it was a predictable thing for him to say, but it's funny that when someone said, "Oh, if you lose the election, will you step down as leader?" and he said no, it's like, motherfucker, you will not be given a choice. If you lose the election and you don't lose your seat, the rest of the party will not give you a fucking choice. They will take you into back room and say, step down as leader or we will kick the fuck out of you. Tommy, Class of Newcomb High. I do remember them. Class of Newcomb High, I remember as being quite funny. Because the classic period for Troma, I think, was 80s and 90s. I watched a fuck ton of Troma films. A lot of them on video, several of them in the cinema. I remember going to see Toxic Avenger 2 in the cinema, the Valhalla Cinema in Glebe, Sydney. And this older couple sort of walked out in disgust after about half an hour of grossness from the movie. And I was looking like, okay, if you want to leave, leave, but what the fuck were you expecting? Because seriously, Toxic Avenger 2 is less extreme than Toxic Avenger 1. And the fact that they showed up to this known sort of gonzo schlock film and then walked out like, this is actually awful. I thought, that is fucking weird. Why the fuck did you come here? What were you expecting? Abigail, at the actual NP election party, they should raise a couple of the screens of the horse races and shoot Scotty. Yes, put him behind the screens and shoot him. Yes. And see, nobody, that's where I stand. If the LNP retain power, I kind of just give up. I kind of just, no, you know what? Fuck it. We're fucked. I refuse to invest any emotional energy in this because it's just like shit is so fucked. There is no value in me injecting any emotional energy into what's happening. So I'm just going to go, no, dunzo. No, I'm also not going to leave. But yeah, I get it. It's lighthearted and he moved to New Zealand. But yeah, and Safa, oh my God, Howard looks like a walking corpse. Howard is this whole fucking Weekend at Bernie's thing. He's so fucked. Lee, you want to move to Finland? That just makes me think of that really old Python thing from the 80s with that song. Finland, 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 the place I want to be. Woofed. Okay. So what are we? 9:07. I'm at this coins toss stage at the moment. Do I drink more alcohol? And ice is melting, aka water. So I'm toying with the idea of having one more alcoholic beverage. But I'm not sure. I feel okay. Also, if I don't have to do much tomorrow. So is it Tommy? If there's an election, you'd vote for Ron Jeremy. Yeah, no, Ron Jeremy turned out to be a gross sexual abuser. He wasn't playing a character, he was actually gross. Nice. Lee, you've been at Helsinki. Sorry, Safi, you've been at Helsinki. 30 minutes from St. Petersburg. Safa is 1C. Yeah, Country Vic had very cold temperatures. I think it was about 5 in Melbourne. I think we're having some quite low minimums over the next couple of days. Let's see. And it's always colder in the country than in Melbourne. Next couple of days. Yep. Minimums of 5 for many days in a row. Which probably means in country areas, minimums of around 1 to 0 Celsius. Yeah, no, Lee, we are getting our first taste of winter now. May's weird because we still get sometimes quite reasonable or even somewhat warm weather in May, but it's also when you get your first taste of winter, quite low minimums, rain and wind, and it's like, yep, July is usually our worst month. Like you get this slide, May shit starts to turn, June it's pretty July is often the worst month, and then it starts to turn around in August. But yeah, Lee, you like the Adelaide weather? I see, Lee. Sorry, Safa. That's like growing up in Dubbo. We would get in winter, we would get 0 Celsius or sub-0 Celsius overnight, but still high teens during the day. So when I was going to school, it was fucking horrific in the morning, and so you'd have 3 layers on, but by the afternoon it was actually quite warm, and so you'd be taking layers off, and you'd have to fucking carry them around, and it fucking sucked. It absolutely fucking sucked. Big fluctuations in temperature in one day is bullshit. I do not like very big fluctuations. Yeah, morning frosts, morning freezes, and then really quite warm, high teens in the afternoon. That's bullshit because you can't, particularly if you're a kid going to school, you can't fucking deal with that because you've got to rug up in the morning and then by the afternoon it's really warm. And so you've got to carry several layers. It's fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I think temperature should only vary at most 5 to 10 degrees during the day. Places where the temperature varies 20 degrees in one day, that's fucking bullshit. Because you can't plan your whole day. You can't plan what to wear for your whole day if the temperature is going to vary by 20 fucking degrees Celsius. Hey, Strictly Sega, how you doing? I'm such an animal. Just drinking water from my mixing glass because the ice is melting. More water in this glass from the ice melting. Oh. There's a little bit of flavour in that water from the old fashioned I had like an hour ago. Oofed. Okay, so will I weaken? Because I'm kind of feeling like making the red gin old fashioned. No, sorry, Strictly Sega. I just finished a freezer martini, which was probably a double. Oh, Christ, we're going to, what a shit year 2020 was? 2020 fucking sucked. And 2021 was no better. And I think 2022, we're just pretending everything's not fucked, but it actually is still fucked. Like in the first 5 months of 2022, Australia has had more COVID deaths and more COVID cases than the previous 2 years combined. Ugh. And we're all just pretending. And all these weird outbreaks. Monkeypox in Europe and America. And some other weird sort of illness things. Safa, how do I feel about Labor's billion? No. That's fictitious. That's not real. Anything about costings and it's not real. And also, politics is bullshit. So Strictly Sega, I was actually thinking, because I've had a freezer martini, I was thinking of having a red old-fashioned red gin old-fashioned. Dr. I remember you saying that you enjoyed 2020 as an introvert, but 2021, 22. I agree. End times. I think the end times started with the Brexit vote in the UK, and then the Trump election. And this is why I don't feel like trusting any poll that says Labour are going to win on Saturday, because I just feel like nice things don't happen anymore. So, yeah, I'm just very concerned. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I am half tin smithed. I just want to make myself a red gin old fashioned. So, going to find Okay, so we got this. Oof. Okay, so Brogan's Way, strawberries and cream gin. I'm just doing this straight in the glass. Fuck it. Strawberries and cream gin. Ookie dookie doo. Yes, Dr. Abigail, that was another big thing. All the celebrities that died in 2016, including Harambe. Dicks out for Harambe. Okay, going to do a bit of sugar, and because it's a red old fashioned, I'm doing my Lily Pilly sugar syrup. Ooh, that's too much sugar syrup, and I'm doing it anyway. Because fuck it. That's like way too much sugar syrup. So this is going to be a really sweet drink, and I don't care. And Peychaud's bitters. Oh wait, no, I wanted to do cranberry bitters. Fuck it. We're doing different bitters. Peychaud's bitters, which is red. And where's my cranberry bitters? Cranberry bitters, which is also red. Fuck it, man. I did too much sugar syrup, so I should do extra bitters. That might balance it. Strictly Sega. We don't talk about. Was the skeleton? Was there something about the hole in the budget, which I have mercifully not heard? I've just heard people referencing it. Safa, you see, the Liberals were trying to destroy superannuation. See, it's my red old fashioned. It's my red gin old fashioned. That's really good. I put too much sugar syrup in it, but that's just like this really sweet, fruity drink at the moment, which, considering it's mostly gin, is wild. It does. These like blood. It's a red gin old fashioned. I'll do that for my YouTube channel. So Strictly Sega, it was a music vid. Oh, okay. No. All right. I am aware. Okay, you sent me something. Let me. Oofed. Let's. Oh, well, that's fucked. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to sort things out. Okay, that's what I should have said. Oh, Jesus, sorry. I'm trying to work so. Oh, see, okay. All right, I just needed to double check to refresh my memory. Strictly Sega. Yeah, I thought that was just an image you sent me. It's a video. I'll have to watch it. Safa drinking an apple cider. Sorry, did you combine an apple cider and a pina colada? or are you two separate glasses? An apple cider and a pina colada. Inquiring minds want to know. If it's only 9:20, I really think I don't usually need a loo break in a 2-hour stream, but I kind of feel like I do need a loo break. I feel like this could be an opportunity to do show you a really old video while I take a loo break. How long are these? All right, no, this one. How old is this? This is 14 years ago. Jesus Christ. I have been on YouTube too long. This is probably a 15 kilograms lighter version of me from 14 years ago. Jesus.
It has reached the stage.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay. I'm going to put this on. Not lewd. Not lube. Okay. Dr. Abigail, Safa, you're both terrible. I love it. But you're both terrible. LOOO. Urination break. I need to expose my genitals to the air and expel urine. So I'm going to share like a 14-year-old video, as much as that messes with my head to do that. Lube break. Right. Do this. Turn the mic off.
It has reached the stage where all I want to say to global warming deniers is shut the fuck up! And because all you skeptics are such great believers in free speech, let me reassure you, I'm not telling you what to think. If you can't think rationally when presented with objective, supported, conclusive science, I don't care what you think. I just don't want to waste time with you anymore. Shut the fuck up! That's right, it's science, bitches, and it's conclusive. Saying something as inane as, I don't believe someone as insignificant as humans could affect the whole planet, that's a reflection on how thick you are. The science has the answers. If you don't want to listen, I don't want to listen to you. Shut the fuck up! The real shut the fuck up moment for me was when climate change deniers started asserting the reason they don't go along with this stuff is they're independent, free thinkers. Yeah, you're repeating the deliberate lies of the most powerful vested political and economic interests in the world, and you're a free thinking individual. Shut the fuck up! And as for those who could acknowledge there was some issue, but it wasn't as bad as the scientists were saying a couple of years ago, you're right! It's worse! Stuff is happening now that is at the upper end of the bad predictions for this time frame. In 20 years from now, it's going to be a bit fucking late to go, oh gee, they were right all along. And just to repeat, I'm talking about scientists, not Al Gore. Attacking him is the classic straw man approach. I haven't even seen an inconvenient truth. I just read the studies, which are consistent, and basically no one has given even a small and we've got to start facing that. And as I brought up a straw man argument, some precious little free speech loving climate change denier is bound to say this is just an ad hominem attack on them. No, it isn't. An ad hominem attack would be if I said, you're stupid and therefore your argument is wrong. No, your argument is wrong because the overwhelming body of scientific evidence proves it's wrong. The fact that you're stupid is just part of the whole picture. So shut the fuck up.
Sorry, was that echoing? Because I turned my microphone off. So if it's echoing, I don't know what the technical problem was. Still relevant? No, it's actually super disturbing how relevant that was. And it was funny. Thank you, Strictly Say You Love It, how much energy I had. I also have no real desire to make videos like that anymore. That was 40-year-old me. 40-year-old me had so much more energy. It's great. It's out there. I'm glad I did it. I like those videos. I think maybe it's not so much an echo effect, but because I was in an enclosed space, there was just echo. Strictly Say you missed the Wankerfat song. See, Dr. Abigail, you might be able to answer that question about Voicemeeter and StreamYard. See, I don't. The rest of this year could do anything. Wankerfat Wednesday could be a thing, and I might just like and go, you know what? This is being reported. It's bullshit for this reason. I'm going to wait it. Sorry, Mimsy's wandering around down here off camera. Don't know if she's going to jump up and say hello. I'll move some stuff so she can if she wants to. By stuff, I mean this is my salt gun for shooting flies. Where are you, you weird cat? Do you want to come up and say hello to everyone? Meow. Come up here. Yeah. Meow. Meow. I'll adjust the camera so you can see Mimsy. There she is. Mimsy! You're such a sook. I don't know why she decides occasionally she just wants to sit on my lap. Meow, meow, meow. So yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I might return to doing pre-recorded Angry Aussie videos at some point. I don't know. Doesn't feel like a winner for me, but who knows? Who knows? Yeah, no, Strictly Sega, you actually hit the nail on the head. If the LNP win the next election, my Wankerfat, what am I not giving a fuck about? I will have just given up on everything. It's like, you know what? Australian public, if you can re-elect those fuckers, I'm just done. I'm just done caring about anything. Look at her. Look at her. Sorry. Now she's up there. I feel like I can adjust the camera a little. And, God, she's just a big sook. She's a senior kitty. Thank you, Strictly Sega. The cocktail fits suit me in my shirts. She loves attention. What Mimsy loves is attention. Anyone who's ever visited my house knows Mimsy loves attention. And during the day, when there's no one else here, she makes weird, stupid noises. She's very demanding. Yeah, aren't you? You big fucking sook. I don't know that you can tell. She's really fucking bony now. She used to be a fatty. She used to be fatty, fat cat. But she's old and her health is probably failing. The last 2 years, she's lost a lot of weight. So I pat down her back. I just feel a bunch of fucking bones down her back. So we don't know how much longer she's going to last. She's probably 17 or even 18 years old, which makes her a very senior cat. In human years, I think that's like about being 80 years old. So who knows? Some people last a long time. Some cats last 20, 25 years. Most cats don't, but who knows how long she's going to last. So you're like, very cute, and people on the stream will be sad if and when I tell her that Mimsy's dead. But we'll replace you with a cute kitten. I like that. Yes, Dr. Abigail, having stayed at my place and slept on the lounge. Mimsy loves it when people sleep on the lounge. When I sleep on the lounge after Friday night stream, Mimsy sits on me. She likes Dr. Abigail too. Strictly Sega, I don't think she has any arthritis, but she's very skinny, very bony. I think that's a product of her age. It's time 9:30. Jesus. Okay, upon reflection, maybe I shouldn't have made this one. But fuck me, it tastes good. Okay, I may have guests for the election night stream on Saturday night. I may make them one of these because it's pretty goddamn good, quite honestly. Oh, fuck, that's actually really good. And yes, Strictly Sega, it is pretty good. Oh wow! So Tommy, you're a cat person. You've got rescues. We have 2 cats. Both of them are rescue cats. We got them from the Lord Smith Animal Hospital. Mimsy, she was at least, her age was a bit indeterminate, but she was at least 18 months old when we got her. She'd actually had a litter of kittens. They were just calling her mummy cat because she'd had kittens. And you get stuff from the animal hospital. They do de-sex the cats. I christened her Mimsy from the poem The Jabberwocky, or Mimsy and the Borragos. So because Mimsy sounded like mummy. I also named Shadow, which was, we got her about 5 years later. And she was just a kitten. Yes. Streak, so you have guests. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think, Streaker Sega, I think the election night stream is going to be fun. Just throwing it out there. I want to have fun on election night. So we will see. I feel okay with sharing. I had a kind of shit week last week, both with my cocktail channel and these live streams. I didn't feel great. I didn't really like Friday night stream. But then I liked Sunday night stream. And I've liked tonight's stream. Tonight's stream has been good. And I did something slightly different for my cocktail channel today as well, which I'm happy with. Going to continue to develop things with my cocktail channel. So yeah, we'll be doing a stream tomorrow night. It may not look okay. Friday night streams, a lot of them have gone till 2 a.m. That might not necessarily happen tomorrow night. It might. I might just go fucking ape shit tomorrow night and do the 6-hour live stream. But I'll I'll say ahead of time, might not happen. And I'll say that tomorrow night as well. We'll see what happens. Dr. Abigail, going to take an item of clothing off for every election through Creek. Behave, Dr. Abigail. Behave. And yes, Safa, it would be fun if Tim Wilson, because I'm in Tim Wilson's seat, it would be fun if he loses. I hope, like the Teal independents seem to be a chance in 1 to 4 seats across New South Wales and Victoria. I hope they win a couple because I want the LNP to get the message, don't pander to the extreme right, because traditional Liberal Party voters are not on board with that. Yeah, there are. Yeah, no, Dr. Abigail, that's absolutely right. We want to be, I don't want to get any copyright strikes, but I definitely want to be watching the coverage of the election while we talk about it. Dr. Abigail, you're the tech nerd. If you want to do weird shit, that's a whole thing. I think there's like 2 or 3 seats in Victoria where the Teal independents might knock off the Liberals, and there's 1 or 2 seats in Sydney where they might. Who knows? But again, I'm not a huge fan of the Teal independents because they're just Liberal Party people. But they're Liberal Party people who say we should accept that climate change is real and gender equality is a serious issue. Neat. No. The stream will be from the kitchen. Mrs. Angry will be in the lounge room. Which, again, if you need to chill on Saturday night, you can chill with Mrs. Angry. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. And will Mimsy be sitting with me? Will Mimsy be sitting with Mrs. Angry on election night? Who knows? It's a mystery. She's sitting with me tonight with her cute soft fur and these beautiful markings she has across her head. She's such a weird cat. In all honesty, both our cats are weird. Like Shadow is probably asleep on my bed at the moment. She's such a weird cat because Shadow will sleep on my bed and she'll be fine with that. But then during the day, she'll be eating out of a food bowl. And if I walk past her, she'll run away and flee outside as if I am going to murder her. Shadow has issues, is all I'm saying. We're going to 3 little Fonzies. We're going to be cool. Okay, we'll be cool. And yes, Megaleech, that's how we decide who's worthy. Who does Mimsy sit with? Mrs. Angry is going to be sitting on the lounge in the next room watching the election results. I'm going to be here. At the moment, Mrs. Angry is watching some UK crime show in the next room. Mimsy has chosen to sit with me tonight. But who knows? So a man, bear, pig. Kind of funny, yes. It was kind of funny. The South Park guys did do an episode a couple of years ago where they were essentially, it seemed like they were essentially saying, we're sorry that the man, bear, pig stuff was us basically saying climate change isn't real because climate change is obviously real and we are in terrible trouble. But also Al Gore might be a dick. Oh my God, that's a good drink. Okay. The first warnings about climate change caused by excess carbon in the atmosphere literally came 100 years ago. Scientists going, this seems bad. All this stuff we're doing, we think it might affect the climate. But anyway. So, yeah. Anything could happen. Oof. So also, I may have special guests for the election night stream. We'll see what happens. It might get messy because, as I mentioned earlier tonight, Saturday, besides being the federal election, is also World Whiskey Day. I have this idea of me doing a blind taste test because I have 10 or 12 whiskies over there. And I was going, if I pour, let's say four of them, which theoretically are quite different. If I pour them in just a little taste into little shot glasses and do a blind taste test of stuff that theoretically is quite different, will I be able to tell the difference between them? I think that would be a fun thing to do. And we will see, because I honestly think I am shithouse at that sort of thing. Like blind tastes of, like, I was thinking 4 different whiskies which are theoretically very different, but if I pour them out and then do a blind taste test and go which one is which, I suspect I will fail miserably at guessing which one is which, even if theoretically they're very different. But I also think it will be a fun thing to do. And we like fun. Hands up if you like fun. You want to try and do fun. Oh yeah, so Strictly Sega. Yeah, blind taste test like the Pepsi challenge, but with class. Okay, I've said this before, but ages ago, I don't know, like 10 years ago in a job, because I was drinking Pepsi Max, and guys I was working with went, but that's the same as Coke. No, they were saying Diet Coke. I was going, dude, it is really different to Diet Coke. And they're like, no, it's not. If we did a blind test, you could not tell the difference between Pepsi Max and Diet Coke. And I said, yes, I could. They're very different. And so they did it. We were just at a lunchroom, and they were doing a blind test, the Diet Coke and Pepsi Max. And they're side by side, and they go, which is which? And I got it right. I think I got it right 4 times in a row. And it was blowing these guys' minds because they felt like they couldn't tell the difference. But I drink Pepsi Max all the time. It's just because I drink Pepsi Max all the time, I could tell the difference between Pepsi Max and Diet Coke. Coke Zero is meant to taste like Pepsi Max, but Diet Coke's very different. And I think it was probably the 5th, because these guys were frustrated. They said, it's just like you can't get it. And so I did a blind test, and they had 2 glasses, and I sip, and then I went, were they both Diet Coke? And these guys were like, I was a fucking wizard. It was like I was a fucking wizard. And they were like, oh my God. And I was like, no, guys, it tastes different. It tastes different. Silumi, hello, you fabulous person. How are you doing? Having a fun night, honestly. So, to me, it was super funny that these guys were of the opinion that Pepsi Max and Diet Coke tasted the same. And because I consistently tasted the difference, and even when they did a thing which was not part of our agreement, where they had 2 Diet Cokes, and then I tasted them both and went, were they both Diet Coke? They were like, I was a witch. They thought I was a fucking witch, because it was to me personally, it was hilarious. They didn't think it was possible to taste the difference between them. I was like, no, dudes, they're really quite different. But this is all a preamble. I wanted to do this on Saturday night because besides being election night, it's World Whiskey Day. I have this in mind. I'm going to do a blind taste of, in my mind, I have 4 different whiskies. I predict I will fail very badly to pick 4 whiskies that should be very different. I'm predicting ahead of time I will fail very badly. What I'm thinking of doing is a peaty single malt Scotch and a Texas single malt, which is very robust, and then 2 different Australian single malt whiskies. I am predicting ahead of time, I think I will fail quite badly to tell the difference between them, but who knows? Tommy Five Tone. Generally, Max Headroom I miss. Max Headroom was great, I think. Sloomy, you haven't run Gilly in person. You're both in Adelaide. Yeah, don't go out. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Salumi, I do hope in the next year, Mrs. Angry and I might do an Adelaide visit and we might be able to catch up because I have a few friends in Adelaide, but I don't know, who knows? Oh my God. Okay, so for my potential guests for election night, this red gin old fashioned is something I want to make. Because it fucking rocks! Oh. Dr. Abigail, you missed the Cold War, the ever-present existential dread. I am slightly older than Dr. Abigail, and I did spend most of the 80s expecting to die in a nuclear conflagration at any given moment. The Cold War had, at that point, been going on for 20 plus years, and was like, yeah, we're probably going to die. There's probably going to be a nuclear war, and it's probably going to fucking suck. Bomb fungus. The dread is here. The dread is why. Oh, no, Safa. See, Adelaide has excellent fucking distilleries. Adelaide has great distilleries. So I'll bet for Strictly Sega, Hacks Headroom started doing late night stuff interviews. So there was Max Headroom doing Tonight Show style interviews, Max Headroom hosting a music video show, the Max Headroom movie, the Max Headroom TV shows. Yeah, and Dr. Abigail, we spent a decade or more thinking we were this close to a nuclear conflagration, which mercifully did not happen. Sadly, we are now in a period where it feels like it could happen again. Strictly Sega, I fucking loved the Max Headroom music video show. It was great. The interstitials Max did between the music videos was just great. And what was hilarious, because if you look at it now, it's like, that seems like good computer graphics for the 80s and 90s. It wasn't computer graphics. Matt Frewer, who was the actor who played Max Headroom, he put on plastic prosthesis, and then they did some very simple effects to make it look like it was computer generated. And then they did this jump cut editing, so it was like glitching computer animation. But it was That was the hilarious thing. People thought it was computer generated, and it wasn't. Matt Frewer wore plastic prosthesis, and then they did some video effects to make it look a bit more like it was computer graphics, because computer graphics could not produce the resolution that Max Headroom appeared to be at that point in history. They can now easily, but back then they couldn't. It was super fucking clever that it wasn't computer generated. It was Matt Frewer wearing a bunch of plastic prosthesis. Very, very fucking clever. Yeah. Also, I kind of like Matt Frewer. Matt Frewer has not been a huge star, but he's done a bunch of stuff since Max Headroom. He's a good actor. Matt Frewer is a good actor. And yes, Tommy, they used moving cardboard backgrounds. Everyone thought Max Headroom was completely computer generated, and it wasn't. Max Headroom was a bunch of practical effects and then some simple video effects on top of it. But it sufficiently duped people into thinking that it was computer generated when it wasn't, because computer graphics in the 80s and early 90s could not generate stuff as complex as Max Headroom. It was pretty goddamn clever, quite honestly. And yes, Dr. Abigail, I have reached the repeating myself level of drunk. We're almost done. It's kind of like I said when I had that third drink, this might be a mistake, but I did it anyway. Salumi, one of your friends had their top surgery. Went well. Nice. Send all our best to your friend. We wish them all the best and a speedy recovery. And we want, here at Channel Angry, we want people to live their best life. So, yeah. Safa, I don't know if that's a joke. Does AZ never repeat himself? I think maybe not. Don't we all miss AZ though? It's been fucking months. It's been fucking months since he's been on. I'm going to have to text him. I don't want to do it now because he will reply to me in the middle of the night and wake me up. I've got to try to remember to text AZ tomorrow during the day when I'm awake, because it's like fucking months since he's been on the stream. Tommy, it's not a party till someone's. Dude, I am at the I love you, man stage for everyone. For my Mask, Fem, and NB pals, I am at the I love you, man stage. And I hope you'll take that in the spirit that it is intended. Yeah, see, Safa, AZ has the double barrel of his health and the dangerous, unstable person he is that. I have to remember to message him tomorrow. So at the very least, on tomorrow night's stream, I get to say to everyone, hey, AZ replied to me and said the following. Who knows? He might actually fucking show up. I can never predict with AZ what's going to happen. I can never predict what's going to happen with that man. I know it's been double barrel. He's had very bad, even by AZ standards, he's had very bad health problems for the last couple of months, but potentially slightly more serious. He's had real-world stressors of an unstable and dangerous person in the flats for ears. So Strick can say, you like mellow, Aussie? I'm pretty mellow. Because I'm also fucking hammered, dude. Oh yeah, no, Safa, AZ and Boss of the House still like this. They're a great couple. Not without its ups and downs. Every relationship has its ups and downs. It's kind of funny, even like, Mrs. Angry and I have been together, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 years. It's got to stay so long. But I see some Facebook memories, and not that other people would see it from the Facebook memories, but I see some things like, oh, I remember what was happening then. And it was like, because any relationship has its ups and downs. And I like see a Facebook memory and I go, oh, that's when we were having a really beautiful time. That's when I remember that. That was stressful. That was a stressful thing that was happening. And so yeah. AZ, both of us stood together. Miss Angry and I sort of happily like 17 years together. Again, like I said, not without its ups and downs. Normal human relationships have ups and downs. Nothing's perfect. Nothing stays the same all the time. But if you're lucky, shit works out. And at the moment, we're in one of, and for a very long time, we've been in one of our up phases. It's kind of like when you hit if you're extremely lucky, and I feel extremely lucky, if you hit one of the down phases in a relationship and you both recognize it and go, this isn't good. Either we are going to work this out or this is going to end. And in the case of Mrs. Angry and I, we worked it out. But I still have these sort of, I guess, markers in history. It's like, that's when we had a bad time and we had to seriously look at, can we look at this and work it out and move on? Or is that going to be the end? And we had a nice, mature relationship. We were working out, which is great. And yes, Safa, humans are complex. And Tommy, Creepshow series had an episode that was Bob Ross fights the Evil Dead. That sounds good. I'm not particularly familiar with it. It does sound good though. Oh, drinking a bit of water before bedtime. See that little orange peel in there. The ice is going to melt and keep the orange peel moist. In the morning, Mrs. Angry is going to make like a hot chocolate with her breakfast, and she'll take that orange peel and put it in a hot chocolate, which I think is nice. It's a cycle of life. Justin, hello. Come in minutes before going to bed. Here's the thing, I'm drinking water before bedtime, which is good, which means I'm hydrated, which means I won't be hungover. Probably means at some point in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 a.m., I'm going to wake up with I have to piss so badly, and I'll have to get out of bed and go. And I'm maybe not, maybe I'll survive the night, who knows? But I have this feeling at this point because I've been drinking water for the last half hour. About 2 or 3 a.m., I'm going to wake up and go, oh God, I've got to piss. So I've got to get out of bed and piss. Fuck me, I love those maraschino cherries, Luxardo cherry. Oh my God, that's good. Oh, okay. Safa, what did we watch yesterday? We actually binged the last 4 episodes of Bridgerton season 2. And some people might find it funny that I'm really into Bridgerton, but I am. And we waited a while to watch Bridgerton, and we didn't really binge the first half of the season. And in fact, for the first episode or 2, I wasn't sure if I was going to get into it. I wasn't sure if, am I going to be as into this as I was into the first episode of Bridgerton? But I got into it. We binged the last 4 episodes last night and stayed up later than we would normally stay up watching because we wanted to finish it. Really enjoyed it. And yes, Safa, Bridgerton, totally decadent. Justin, you and a former chair of Democrats abroad came to an agreement, expel a bully. Oh man, having to deal with bullies in any sort of group, and I've had to do it multiple times over the last like 18 years of doing YouTube stuff. It's fucking difficult. It is fucking difficult. Yeah, Safa. Bridgerton is camp and decadent as fuck, and it's silly and it's ridiculous, but it's so much fun to watch. It's so much fucking fun to watch. Yeah, I wasn't sure I would get into season 2 as much as I did season 1, but I did. And again, some people might be surprised I did, but I did. So anyway, okay, so it's 10. That's 2 hours. It's been an excellent night. I fucking love all you people. I thank you so much for the interaction tonight. It's been really good. Really enjoyed it. Tomorrow, Friday night, party night. I will not predict ahead of time what will happen tomorrow night. I might do a really long party night. It might be shorter. I am trying to keep stuff alive for me. So I won't predict what happened. Okay, Salumi, I just want to throw out, fashion's wrong, the characters are trash. That's why I love Bridgerton. Everything about the fashion and stuff is historically wrong. The characters are definitely trash, and that's why I love it. Anyway, tomorrow night we'll see what happens. Anything could happen, anything or nothing. Who knows? And following tomorrow night we have election night, which is an even bigger unknown. Who the fuck knows? So I hope you all, whatever you're doing, you all take care. I'm going to get some sleep now. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm almost sure I'm going to wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. Okay, I've got to have to piss. I hate getting out of bed in the middle of the night, but I think it'll be unavoidable. Oh yes, Salumi, the gay pirates of our flag means death. They rock. So you all take care. If you're around tomorrow night, I'd love to see you. Hopefully have fun, and also election night we'll have fun. We'll see. No expectations, no promises. We'll see what happens the next couple of nights. You'll take care. I'm going to go